Hello, my friends, and welcome back to another episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series by 4Expedition. I'm Scott Luthold. Well, it's the end of September, and we're still not in the cabin. There's still quite a bit to do before we can get it completely dried in and ready to move into. And it is what it is. We expected a lot of this short summer season here in the high elevation. And, when the first snowfall comes, it comes. It is what it is. We expect to be able to get it dried in, hopefully within the week. Our windows were supposed to come in this past Friday. It got delayed a week, so our windows are hopefully coming in this Friday, which means that a week from tomorrow's Monday, a week from tomorrow, we should be getting our windows and our doors installed. Once that's done, we have a spray foam company coming out to do spray foam insulation. We'll get that done, and at that point, the cabin will be completely dried in, and we will probably start to move in. Now, our floors aren't done, our walls aren't done, our ceiling's not done, our bathroom's not done, but we will probably move in nonetheless because, well, the snow's coming, and we'll probably winterize the RV, and we plan on putting the RV up for sale this winter and living in the cabin full time. So we should have our pellet stove running, we should have our kitchen completed, and we should have the basics of our bathroom done, our water system done, and those kinds of things. And then while we're living in the cabin, we'll probably finish the floors and the walls and the ceiling, and then we'll move our furniture in. It's just one of those things that we knew that there was a possibility things weren't going to get completed by the time things got cold. But as long as our heating system and our water system and our kitchen are operational and our bedroom is livable, we will just go ahead and move in, and it is what it is. We've been very, very blessed. First of all, September's been very warm. We could have had snow in early September, but we didn't. And the sun's been out. It's not been raining. It's just been very beautiful out. So we've been able to get a lot of exterior things done. And then the second thing that we're very blessed with is our neighbors. We have neighbors all around us who see what we're trying to accomplish, all accomplished the same thing on their own at one time or another in the past, and they're just very eager to help us get things done. And we truly feel a sense of community of people around us that are willing to roll up their sleeves, help us figure out the issues and things like that, and try to get things done. That is something that I've just found to be just a true blessing of living up in the mountains. Unlike when I lived in the city. In the city, when you had neighbors, you got to know a couple of your neighbors, but most of the time your neighbors would come home from work, pull in their garage door and close the garage, and you'd really only maybe talk to them once a month. Here it's completely different. Our neighbors are just wonderful, wonderful people, and they're all very down to earth, very simple, and just very honorable, kind, generous people. And that's the kind of thing that I was hoping to find when I moved to a small town in the mountains, and I believe I've found that. On another note, 4Expedition has been around since 2007. The YouTube channel's been around since 2013, and I'm really excited to announce that this episode is my 100th published episode that is currently live. And we have something coming up later on in this episode. Definitely be sure to watch for it. We're going to have a big giveaway having to do with that, and I'm really excited to share that all with you. Anyway, if you've been a long-time subscriber to the channel, I truly appreciate your viewership and your support. If you're new to the channel, definitely be sure to go back and watch some of the older videos. I think you'll really enjoy those. I really look forward to sharing this episode with you, so sit back and enjoy the ride. Oh, there is a nail. Just so you know, there's a nail sticking out in the end of... You see that the walking on here, some of the rust comes off, but you know, over time it'll fill back in.
And they don't even move.
What'd you say?
They don't even move when you're on them.
Yeah.
Because it's not chintzy.
26 gauge steel.
Pretty sure these are 24.
You think they're 24s? Well, in typical fashion, our good friend that's been helping us out came over and showed us how to do a few things, and is leaving us to our own devices to get it finished. So he helped us put up the drip edge and the flashing and the first 2 sheets, and so now we're on our own. So I go first? Yep.
I'm working hard. He sits in the shade for this part. Oh,
Yeah.
I mean, not up there by any means, but
That's right. All right, I'm all set up to start cutting. I'm going to be cutting these sheets on the back of the house, 14 feet 6 inches. And while I do that, Heather's going to start putting the stain on the rough cut lumber. And she's going to start, once it's dry, nailing it up on the back here. So we're going to have the whole back of this cabin done more than likely today.
okay. Is there a trick to these things, everybody?
This one
Like,
doesn't plug.
do these things really work? Like, we've tried. They don't work.
It's not plugging my ear. I got this one plugged, but this one's not plugged.
Maybe something's wrong with your ear. Hmm?
Yeah, it's like it doesn't.
I think it's your ear.
Well, this one's almost all puffed back up. I think they say you're supposed to twist them and then push them in.
And then hold it there.
When I twist them, it doesn't untwist. It just sits there, and I can still hear totally out of this ear.
I don't know what to tell you, babe. What song are you listening to?
What?
Huh?
Huh?
He's wearing my piano earmuffs.
What?
Huh? Okay.
All right, we're gonna cut some metal, and we got these stupid. Well, I shouldn't say that because we got them from a friend, and he might watch this. We got these things. They don't seem to work very well, but I've got these and these because I've heard that cutting metal is really loud, screechy.
I really think he's listening to Britney Spears in there, but hey, you know, whatever. Or country. We know you like country now. You got this. Remember, that's on there.
Imagine being caught in a rainstorm where the wind's blowing so hard and the rain is flying sideways, but instead of rain, it's metal bits.
That's why I was covering my face, because I was getting splattered by the chips. Okay, you did great. These are going to be pieces we decorate with later or use for skirting in the back where we're doing the board and batten siding. So that's going to be great. Use everything. Do not throw anything away. It's getting heavier.
They're getting hotter though. So while I've been working on the roof, Heather's been working on painting, as I mentioned a little bit ago. And now you can see some of the roofing that I've got done so far. It looks really awesome. There's an unfinished edge here that still needs to be stained. And Heather's working on this example here. They're all a little long. We haven't cut them down yet, but they're going to be a nice dark rustic color. And when you tie that in with our roofing and you tie that in with our red window trim for the windows that are coming, I think it's going to look really cool. And these are still a little bit wet yet, so once they dry up they'll probably lighten a little bit more. So I'm going to zoom in here. You can see the variation because of they're all being rough cut, which is kind of the look we were going for. This is more or less the color that I think that most of it's going to dry to. And this area here, this is rough-sawn, so that's the way it's going to be. And I think that's really cool. You're doing a great job.
We're doing a great job.
We're doing a great job. If you look closely at this roof, you'll see that there's a number of extra screws. Some in the troughs, some in the crests. And that's mostly because I couldn't make my mind up as to where I wanted to put them. Did I want to have them all in the crests or in the troughs? There's different schools of thought about that. Some people say that you want to put them in the troughs because when you screw them down, they screw right tight to the wood, the OSB roofing. And that's a better, more secure connection. However, when you have, let's say, I've got maybe somewhere in the neighborhood of about I've got about 7 or 8 screws in the troughs going down. That tends to create a dam, and I was a little bit concerned about that. So the first 2 boards, I've got them in the troughs and in the crests. And as we move along, then I just put them in the troughs, and then only where they overlap do I put them in the crests. So that's what we're doing now. Well, things are starting to come together. We've had to saw the, I'd say about maybe 5-6 inches off the ends of these. And when you use the saw, a lot of the vibration has caused the rust to pop off. So you can see that there's more metal showing, but that's okay. Within the next couple months, I'm sure this will just completely rust on its own, as long as we have some rain. But I've got almost half this roof done. All right, so Heather's been painting the trim here, which I think is looking fantastic. I showed you this a little bit before, but now she's got this upper trim piece all done. And I've got most of this side of the roof done. Got a little edge left to do there. Got to figure out what I'm going to do there. But it is really looking great.
Hi.
Hi. So one of the fun things to do pretty much every morning, we haven't been doing it lately, but walking out to the road. We've been a bit busy. We're walking out to the road, and there's just one spot where we can look through the trees at the cabin and see how things are coming along. And it's kind of an exciting thing for us to do. Here it is. So when you're looking at our property from the road, you can see the metal roof on there now. And probably by the end of the day today, the back of the cabin will be covered in rough-sawn pine as well. That end, the front-facing end, we're not going to be able to work on that stonework until the window is in. But that's going to look really cute. Thank you for your help. What are you going to do now?
I'm going to go stain all of our rough cut pine.
Yeah, nice.
Toodles.
Toodles. This titanium paper that we put on here is incredible, and I would recommend it to anybody. It's quite expensive. I think we paid over $200 a roll. But I have absolutely no concern about walking around on this roof because if you look here, it's got a built-in grid system that creates a grip. So when you walk around on here, you don't slide around at all. And it's super thick, so you're not really all that concerned about tearing the paper or stretching the paper because of the nails and your weight or anything like that. Really amazing stuff. All right, so today we're going to continue on with the roofing. We got this all done yesterday. Looks really great. On this end down here, it just so happened that the full pieces ended too short. And so what we're probably going to have to do is cut a long piece, rip it. Not too excited about doing that. However, because so, and we probably are going to have to use an entirely new piece, we'll probably overlap this quite a bit. And that won't be a bad thing when it comes to the weather. There's a lot of weather that comes in from the north against this front. So I have no problem maybe overlaying this by about 5 or 6 rather than the one that we've been doing before. And then of course there's a gable that goes up over all of this. So that should be a really great protector against the weather.
One of our last pieces.
Bushwhacking.
Aw.
Okay.
Little pine tree. Okay, you think you can do this?
I think so.
Okay. Okay. Oop, gotta go.
Okay. I'm gonna stand on this over here. Got it? Okay.
Okay, so it has to go over
That way.
that way. Okay. Got
There
it.
you go.
He's such a hard worker. He's doing so great.
Well, we're getting close now. We just have to do the end here. And I'll probably rip a long strip to go on either side. It's about 5 or 6 inches. And then we've got to put the gable over the top. And then we put the ridge cap on and we're done with the roof. Nice job.
I can't hear, so like
What's that?
it's like wearing a mask.
What? Huh?
It just started to rain,
Huh?
and we put the ridge cap up there, and he just got it all done.
Just got a little bit of edging to do over there. See you in 4 days. Bye. Mwah. Love you. Well, Heather's off for 4 days. She's heading back to Phoenix, spend some time with her sister, and every year she goes to this event in Scottsdale, Arizona called Junk in the Trunk. I guess it's a really cool show that you go to where you can get antiques and things like that, old cool things. And so she decided to go down there again this year because we want to hopefully get a few things from there to be able to decorate the inside of our cabin. So that'll be a lot of fun. So she'll be back here in 4 days on Sunday. While she's gone, I'll be working on the siding here. I've got a lot of different little projects I've got to get done, so I'll be cranking on those over the next 4 days. Well, there you go. We got the first sheet of siding up. Pretty exciting. This one was a little bit hard because the cabin leans in toward the top. So I had to cut it so that it was square on the side that I was going to be putting the next piece on. But now that that's on there, we should be able to cruise through this. All right, well, I'm making progress. Heather's about halfway back to Phoenix. I'm about halfway done with this project. I've got a few more strips to do on this left side here, and then I've got the batten overlays to put on, and then I'll be done for the day. But I've run out of wood that's already stained, so I'm gonna have to do some staining first. I would say that tomorrow morning I should have this done because I spent the last hour staining a whole bunch of wood, and it's going to sit here and dry. I probably need to do 4 more of these, but I'll do those first thing in the morning, and then I'll start putting up all the rest of the wood while that dries. And this should be done by tomorrow. Well, good morning, my friends. I'm up bright and early. It's about 7 o'clock in the morning. I would say it's probably about 38 degrees, maybe 40 degrees. But I'm out here really early this morning. First of all, well, Heather's out of town, so I don't really have anybody to sit and chat with while I drink my morning coffee other than you. So I got up this morning, got out here. I'm going to get finished on all of this siding. And, you know, I just wanted to talk to you about just the magnitude of this project. There's way more here to do than I ever expected. Now, as each thing comes along, I learn how to do it and I tackle it. And as I've mentioned before, if I think about all of the long list of things that I still need to do in order to make this place livable, I get overwhelmed. So I try not to think about it. But nonetheless, there is a big list. And there's a million little things, and there's probably 20 or 30 big things that I have to do yet. And then, of course, I have my neighbors come over who are a lot more seasoned at this kind of stuff than I do. And they'll point out things, like one of them came over recently, and I'm really glad he did, because he came over and he looked at my roof and he said, "Wow, your roof looks really great." And then he looked at the flashing up against the cabin over here. And he said, "You got that? Not only do you have that upside down, but you also have it below the corrugated. It needs to be above the corrugated. So now I need to go back and redo that." But, you know, am I glad that he came over and told me that it needed to be done? Absolutely. Did I want to hear it? No. But, it's just the state of things and nature of things, and it's just how things go. Anyway, I'm going to finish up on this today. I'll probably redo that flashing today. I've got skirting around the cabin that I've got to figure out how to put some spray foam insulation on. So what I'm probably going to do, I'm taking some of these rough-sawn pine siding pieces, and I'm using those for skirting on the old cabin. But what I probably will do is I'll probably frame out a 2x4 frame on the inside of it, nail it in, and then I'll probably spray foam inside there. And then inside of that, I'll probably put some batting. There's only a small crawl space. I'll probably put some batting, maybe inside plastic or something like that, just for this winter, because it's just not a project that I can really focus on that much to do it absolutely perfect. But I do need for it to be insulated under there because, we get below 0 out here and the wind's blowing. It's going to blow right under the cabin, and I don't need that. So that's a project I've got to deal with. I'm still waiting on some electrical to be done. Just the list goes on and on and on. But was it yesterday? Day before yesterday, my credit card was burning hot. Heather and I bought all sorts of stuff. We bought an incinerator toilet. I'll talk more about that when the toilet comes, but we decided to do incineration as opposed to composting because we don't have a septic system here. We were going to use a compost toilet, but I found an incinerator toilet. It cost a lot more money than a compost toilet, but it's really cool. It basically incinerates all of your waste. It's pretty awesome. It doesn't leave much ash left over. You have to empty out the ashtray like once a month. Pretty awesome. We ordered a shower. We ordered a bathroom vanity. We ordered all of our fixtures and faucets. We ordered a kitchen sink. We ordered that faucet. We ordered a stackable washer and dryer. Oh my God, the list goes on and on. But it's all necessary stuff. And frankly, when this project is done, I think I'm guessing that the cost for this addition and for the renovations of the original cabin is going to run somewhere around the neighborhood of about $60,000. And I'm trying to swallow that nut in cash over time, over the next several months, to pay for it. And then I bought the property last year. I paid about $120,000 for it. It's about 4.5 acres, and it came with this 3-season hunter's cabin on it. So my goal is to have all of that paid off by next March, and it's a pretty major undertaking, but I feel like it's accomplishable. And my goal is to have a livable home on a piece of property in the mountains, in the forest, paid for by the end of spring of next year. So wish me luck on that. And if I'm able to do that, and if I'm able to figure out how to make that happen, well, then that'll be inspiration for all of you that this kind of thing can be done. I'm not rich. I had a decent business. I still maintain a few clients. I, of course, make a little bit of money off of 4Expedition and the YouTube channel and all of that, but the YouTube channel is not my bread and butter. All of these things together allow me to be able to make this sort of thing happen, and I took a pretty big leap to come out here and do this with the intention of having a property eventually and quickly paid off so that I could live more simply, more affordably, and be able to do the things in my life that I really love. So, and also possibly leveraging this property to make money off of it, from hosting workshops on the property with all of you, renting out some spaces on here, have a couple of apartments that I'm thinking about putting into the barn, and having it be a revenue generator as well. Plus I have some other things here in the local area that I'm working on with one of my new friends here. Anyway, so that's sort of the financial situation in a nutshell. Now it's time to get this all done so that we have a place to live for the winter. I'm sitting here just thinking about adventure and about all the filming that I've done in the past of outdoor adventures. And up until now, I lived in Arizona. And Arizona gets really hot in the summer. And I used adventure into the mountains of Arizona and canyons and all that to get, I guess, as my escape from the heat of the desert. And the funny thing is, I'm now living in the mountains in the forest, which is where I used to escape to, and I used to do a lot of filming. And I'll get back to that again, but I think it's interesting that this is the biggest adventure of my life, and I'm now living in the mountains, the place that I used to escape to. And now when I'm in the mountains full time, I'll be looking to take adventures elsewhere outside of the mountains or deeper into the mountains and all that. But until this cabin is done, I'll be filming the biggest adventure of my life, which is this process. And then we'll get back eventually to the overlanding and the bike packing and the backpacking and all those kinds of things that I used to film before I started this project. Well, because I'll be looking for adventure again once we're living here full time. But people have been asking me if I'm going to be filming adventures again. And I have to sort of remind them that I'm on an adventure. This is a grand adventure. And I'd like for all of you that watch this to look at it that way. This is a lifestyle choice that I've made. It's a change that I've made. And my YouTube channel isn't necessarily going to be exactly the way it always was. And that's okay with me, because at the end of the day, I'm not married to the YouTube channel. I share experiences of my life on my YouTube channel. And sometimes people join up and follow along because they're interested in the kind of adventure that I'm on. I gained a whole bunch of subscribers when I went on a bike packing adventure, but my channel is not all about bike packing. It's not all about Subarus and all that. I've mentioned some of this stuff before. So my hope is that people follow along because they love adventure, not specifically for one thing or the other. Now, if you've subscribed to my channel because you love Subarus, or you love bike packing, or you love overlanding, great. And if for some reason my content no longer serves your interests, because I'm now doing cabin life series and things like that, well, I understand, and I hope you stick around for the sake of adventure, but if you don't, I understand that as well. Same thing goes for Team 4X. I started Team 4X as an adventurer community, a place for adventurers to come together and share ideas and talk and collect some really cool swag from 4Expedition and all that. But if you're coming in to become a Team 4X member and you have certain expectations of me or of the program, well, I understand, and I will try to meet some of those expectations. But at the end of the day, what I've done is created a community, a place for people who are interested in 4Expedition, what I'm doing, and wanting to be involved in some way, to be able to do that. But I also have my own life and my own lifestyle that I'm living, and I'm going to continue to pursue my dreams and share all of that with you to inspire you to pursue your dreams. Now, if you want my dreams to become yours, or if you want me to somehow figure out how to help you fulfill your dreams, I'm willing to do that to some extent, but people will come and go, and that's how life is. You meet people, you interact with them for a while, you share common ideals and common ideas, but sometimes people decide that the direction you're going is no longer the direction they want to go, and that's fine. I've had that happen with a few people lately, and I'm very appreciative for having met people and worked with people, especially having to do with Team 4X. But Team 4X will continue to evolve, yet I don't have specific expectations of what it will be and what it will become, and I don't have any specific expectations of my team members, but sometimes my team members have certain expectations of me, and that's just not how I live my life. I think we all get into a lot of trouble when we set expectations of others. All right, so on to another project. So the main original cabin is sitting on piers, and so it's completely exposed underneath. So I need to put some sort of a skirting underneath it, and it's probably about 10 to 12 inches tall. And what I've decided to do is take some of my raw rough cut pine and then add a 2x4 framing on the back of it and fill it with spray foam. And so I'm doing 2x4s, so that'll be a 2x4 thick insulation, and then inside of that I plan on putting a whole row of batting all the way around the inside of that as well. And what's really interesting is that the way I'm doing this, I'm doing it in sections so that I can unscrew each of the sections of skirting so I can get underneath the cabin anytime I want. And I'm going to show you that now. So as you can see, I've got the rough-sawn lumber already totally pre-cut to go in certain spots around the cabin. And then I built a 2x4 frame. And now I'm filling this with spray foam. And I don't know how many cans it's going to take to get all of these filled, but this will be my first defense against cold weather underneath the main cabin. And then, as I said, I'll be putting a batting layer inside of that as well. All right, so there we go. I'm expecting this to expand in which case if it expands too much past the framing, I can always trim it back. But that should provide some insulation to start. Well, good morning, my friends. Heather has returned, and so today sometime we'll probably be doing a little show and tell as to what she got at Junk in the Trunk in Scottsdale. Some cool old vintage items to put in the cabin. And today we're also going to be putting up our crossbeam and our vertical posts. And then I'll be finishing up some things on the back of the cabin. There's one thing that I need to do to finish off that really nice rough-sawn pine siding. And then I've got to close in at the top here. As you can see up there, that's all open. And I'm going to have a spray foam company come out here and spray foam the inside of the cabin in the next week or two. And I've got to close all that in with OSB. So we'll be doing that today as well. Curved up, is that right? So I'm so excited to see what you got. As I mentioned, Heather went to Junk in the Trunk show in Scottsdale. It's a vintage showcase, and she picked up some really cool things for the cabin, so we're going to check them out. All right, so what's this?
This is my favorite. This is the window I picked up because it reminded me of a 4X in our front door in the cabin. So I was thinking we could put this in the bathroom way up high. And since we're building everything in there, we can frame it out and put it as like old school tilt out window.
Above the door?
Above the door.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Because we're having a slider, like a barn door slider. So this might add in, a little bit more light in there since we don't have real windows or anything like that. So
yeah, so when you went on your way, we talked about you trying to find a window to go
right
up there.
So this is what I found.
So we're going to put some hinges on here maybe?
Right.
And then have it swing up?
Yep.
Above the door. Very cool. Kind of like you see in those old motels or hotels.
Or sane asylums or something like that. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't
right.
have to stay white either. We can do whatever.
Yeah, very cool. Like that. So what's this trunk here?
Oh, this guy. So I found out this came from an old ranch in Texas. I talked to people who had it, and they like purchased this whole barn, and they got to dig through everything. And this is one of the finds that I saw, and it really is an old tool chest. These are other treasures.
So it's a toolbox.
So legit, it is a tool chest.
Very
and it has
cool.
like all the old stuff still in it. But my thought was we could take this old strap off and then hang this on the wall and flip this all the way open.
Straight up. And so that would be like a shelf on the wall.
A shelf.
Maybe put in the kitchen or in the bathroom above the toilet or something cool.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I mean, coffee cups could go in there, or
Oh yeah, kitchen coffee cups. That'd be pretty cool.
Yeah.
That's really neat.
But yeah, it's pretty cool. It's very rugged.
Very cool.
So that
How old do you think that is?
I don't
40s, 50s?
I don't know. We'll Google that.
We'll Google it. All right, cool. And
So,
these guys
yeah,
here?
so I got these little guys, you know, holiday fun, old rusty metal trees.
Very cute. Very cute.
And to go along with the rust, I got this cool old, like, I don't know, cheese board or menu board. And I thought what we could do is got these cool little rusty hinges. We could put them anywhere on here. We could put, like menus,
Notes in the kitchen.
love notes. Of course, love notes.
Yeah, so they would have like three of them down the thing like that?
Yeah. Maybe.
Super cool. Love it.
I mean, nothing else. I liked it.
Nice. Nice. And then, let's see. So you also got this very cool old painter's ladder.
Right. Like, look at this thing. I mean, it used to be one of those extension ladders, correct?
Yeah.
I think I only bought half of it because we don't need that much. But what are we going to do with this?
Yeah, so we talked about in the kitchen above the island, we wanted to put an old ladder like this across over the top. And we'll hang pots and pans. We can do collecting some herbs and hanging dried herbs and things like that, right?
Yeah, that'll be really neat.
That's going to be pretty cool. And that'll hang, our cabin has a vaulted ceiling, and in the kitchen where the island is, it's still pretty high there. So those will hang down with some old rusty chains or something, and there'll be a ladder hanging there with pots and pans and things. So I think that's going to be pretty cool.
Yeah.
All right, what else did you get?
All right. These. I got a set of these.
Wow. Those are cool. You got 2 of them?
2 of them.
All right, so what do you think we could use these for?
Well, they might be a little drafty for winter, so I don't know. Just decoration, maybe put some pictures behind them.
Yeah, some cool black and white
whites.
pictures.
Black and white.
Or it could even be one picture broken up, like a mountain, black and white mountain scene. So you could have
like
this.
that.
This could be like a well, it's not like a triptych, but because obviously it's 3, 6, 9 squares. We could have a blown up black and white photograph of the mountains here, and break it up into 9 squares and put it in there and put it on the wall. Something, or horses or something really cool. Black and white though, probably.
Yeah, that'd be really
Yeah,
neat.
I really like that. And you got 2 of them.
I got 2. I mean,
Very nice.
they were very, very cool. Same thing. A lady's family had them. Some old ranch in Texas, so everything here came from Texas. So
Yeah.
yeah,
Very cool.
that's
All
what
right.
I found.
Good job.
And I did also come home with a giant bag of popcorn that did not make it back. I ate it. I ate it on the way.
Nice. Well, my friends, I'm excited to report that this is the 100th live episode on the 4Expedition channel. And that's a big deal. I've been live with my channel since 2013, and there are a lot of older videos that I've taken off the channel. So there's been more than 100 videos created. However, what's live on the channel right now is 100 videos. This is the 100th video. And that's a really big deal because most YouTubers don't really talk about the fact that it takes a tremendous amount of effort to put a video up. Now, not only do you have to create the content by filming, you have to go back and sift through all that content and find the segments that you like. And then you have to put them into a video editor and make it into a meaningful story. And then you have to go back through and back through and back through, making sure that all the audio sounds good, that you have the right music to tie in to bring out some sort of emotion. Once all that's done and you're happy with the video, you have to export it. Exporting it out of an editor can take several hours. And then once you have that file exported, you have to watch it again and make sure that it exported properly and everything sounds good and looks good. After that, you have to upload. Uploading a 35 gigabyte file can take many, many hours depending on what your internet connection is. And for me out here in the wilderness, that means it can take somewhere upwards of about 20 hours to upload. Once it's uploaded and in the editor, then you have to go through YouTube Studio and put in all the data and all the information about the video, your descriptions, your end screens, and all those kinds of things. And then once all that's done, then you go back and watch it again. Once you're happy with the video and everything uploaded properly and everything's good, then you can go ahead and schedule it to put live. It's a big deal. It takes a lot of time, and YouTube personalities that have a YouTube channel, if they're still doing their own videos, and some of those people are probably outsourcing the creation of their videos and upload and all of that. I'm not. I still do all of my videos. And so that's a tremendous amount of work. So it's, when I look back at the fact that I've created more than 100 videos, I think about the countless hours that I put into creating this sort of experience for people to watch. And it's my art form. And so I'm really proud of the fact that I've been able to create as many videos as I have. And since my channel went live in 2013, I'm just under 2 million views. I have over almost 26,000 subscribers. And that's quite an accomplishment, if you ask me. And I'm really proud of it. And because so, I've decided to do a giveaway. And many of you are familiar with Team 4X. And we have a founding membership program going for Team 4X. And we're building our membership system. And I've decided that as my 100th video goes live, I'm going to give away a Team 4X membership. And it's a founding membership. It's valued at over, I'll probably say $400. You get lots of great swag, and you get a membership access into our community member portal. You get access to our monthly Zoom camp calls and lots of other wonderful things. So if you're interested in becoming a Team 4X member and you're watching this video, I'm doing a giveaway right now. If you go on to my website on 4expedition.com, I will have a giveaway page on the website right from the home page that you can find. Fill out the form to be entered into the drawing to win Team 4X membership. And I will be doing a giveaway on my 101st video. So definitely come back and watch the 101st video, and I'll be doing an announcement there to see who wins. Well, good morning, my friends. We have been working feverishly on this cabin to get things done before the first snowfall. We are nearing the end of September. We're finishing up on some electrical. Within about a week, I've got a spray foam installer coming out to spray foam the inside. That should give us R38 installation inside this cabin, which is going to be really great. And then my windows were supposed to come 2 days ago, which was a Friday. And I found out that they're going to be a week late. So we're expecting them the end of this week. And then I'd say tomorrow's Monday. So a week from Monday, we'll be installing the windows and doors. And this place will be completely dried in. And then we've got to work on a number of other external things. We want to get the outside siding done on the front side here. We've got stone work we want to get done before the snow comes as well. And then we've got soffits around the cabin that need to be covered up as well. So those are the main things. There's a deck here that we're going to put under the covered porch, but we're not going to worry about doing that until later on down the road. As you can see here, we did get our cross beam and our vertical posts in. Those are 6x6 posts, and that beam is a 22-foot long 4x6 beam. It just was a tough job getting that installed, as you saw just a little bit ago. Anyhow, today we're going to have a lot of fun. We decided to take a break. We've been working really hard. We had to go down to the valley the other day and get our washer and dryer. And we've got a lot of stuff just piling up out here that we've got to get put inside the cabin. But today, one of my neighbors invited us out on ATVs, and we're going to go up into the mountains. There's a beautiful rock outcropping ridge over here to our east, and we're going to go up on top of that. And apparently, from what I understand, the only way to get up there is with ATVs because it's a pretty narrow trail. You can't even take a side-by-side up there. So that's going to be a lot of fun, and we're going to share that with you today. between hunting seasons.
One day.
One day. So we took this time and this opportunity to get out here and do a little bit of exploring. Bow season just ended, and the gun season starts tomorrow. Myself that we live here.
This is our life.
See if we can see ourselves a view here of the valley. Yep. Wow. Oh, this is the ridge. We're right on top of that rocky ridge.
Got you a beautiful view right here. See Black Lake way out there?
Spend some time up here.
We're going to show you where we were up on that ridge just a little bit ago. We're down below the ridge now. If you look straight up over there, we were sitting up on top of one of these ridges right here.
Cheryl pointed out here for us.
Over here?
Over here?
If you see that grove of aspens over there, in the middle of the grove of aspens you can see a rock outcropping. That's where we were just a little while ago. All right, my friends, I think that's it for this episode of the Pursuit of Cabin Living series. I really hope you enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed creating it. If you're interested in entering the drawing for 4Expedition membership, definitely go to 4expedition.com and fill out the form. We'll be making that announcement in the next video. If you haven't become a subscriber to the 4Expedition channel, I encourage you to hit that subscribe button. Of course, be sure to hit that notification bell to be notified when videos go live. And if you're looking for an adventurer community, consider joining Team 4X by going to 4expedition.com/join to learn more. Until the next time, take care.